Hey everybody, this is Anthony's Horror More, and today I got a pretty big movie haul to show you guys. Some pickups that I've got over the last week or so. And I just wanted to, kind of update you guys on what I've gotten recently. So here we go. First one up, Army of Darkness Steelbook. Man, I'll tell you right now, Scream Factory just fucking kills it with their steel books, man. I mean, look how good this steel book looks. Holy shit. I mean, even if you're not a steelbook person, you gotta appreciate this artwork on here. Holy Christ. And then look at all the artwork that they give you on the disc. Boom. And what's really cool about this is this set, you get all these cuts of the film. Disc 1, 4K theatrical cut. Disc 2, Blu-ray theatrical cut. Disc 3, Blu-ray director's cut. Disc 4, Blu-ray international cut, television cut. It's like, that's just that's so cool that you get all these. I know some people were disappointed that they didn't get the director's cut in 4K, but still, man, just to have all these cuts of the movie in one really nice steel book here, I just think that's so cool. You can't really beat that. I'm actually making my way kind of through these, watching the different cuts just to see. I actually watched the international cut because I was just kind of curious, like, oh, what's the international cut? I'll have to refamiliarize myself with the director's cut and the regular cut. I put on the television cut for a second too, just for fun, and that looks super grainy and whatever, like very VHS quality. But, it's a television cut. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? But I just thought it would be fun to put that on as well. But, yeah, great release. Scream Factory really killed it with this. Looks great. Groovy. And then I got The Fog. Another Scream Factory steelbook. This image right here reminds me of The Night Flyer, that Stephen King novel, The Night Flyer, the movie based off the book or whatever. You guys ever see that with the vampire that flies a fucking plane at night and kills people off? I love that. We need a Scream Factory edition for The Night Flyer. Come on, give us that, guys. That's what that reminds me of. Love that artwork, man. So cool. And then you got the disc artwork. Very cool. Beautiful release, great movie, John Carpenter. Can't go wrong. Ghost Pirates. Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, come on, man. Adrienne Barbeau. Tom Atkins. I mean, how do you go wrong, great movie, great steelbook, great atmosphere. Just really eerie. I just love that. I love that small town feel that Stephen King gives you in a lot of his movies, like It's, and just so many of his movies. He loves that small town atmosphere, just really creepy and everything. Night Shift. There's just so many like that, I love it. But yeah, great release. I haven't watched the 4K on that yet, so I can't say how the 4K quality is yet, but hopefully it's good. Now, like I said, I only watched the international cut of this so far, so I still have to watch the 4K. I know that's weird. I just felt like watching the international cut because I was just kind of curious. So yeah, this movie, The Return of the Living Dead, I actually just watched this 4K today, and I thought it looked good. If you have the Blu-ray edition of this from Scream Factory, I would say just stick with that. I don't think it's that big of an upgrade. But it's up to you, to each their own. I'm just letting you know. I think if you have the Blu-ray, that's probably fine. Got that. No reversible artwork. Those bastards, those fucking bastards over at Scream Factory. Where's our reversible artwork, you sons of bitches? Oh well, what are you gonna do? No reversible artwork, but this artwork, the poster art is just one of the best posters of all horror history. I mean, it's super iconic. You know exactly what this is, like. But still, where's the reversible cover art, you cheap bastards? Give us the reversible cover art. Come on, we pay our hard-earned fucking money for this expensive shit. Give us that. Anyway. Yeah, this comes with pretty much the same stuff, man. It's just the 4K transfer. There's no new special features or anything like that. Got some cool disc art. Boom, boom, boom. That disc just fell right out of there. God damn it. Yeah, whatever it is with these frickin' disc holders, man, they are not the best. I don't know if these are like eco cases or what. I don't know, but they're not the best at holding these discs in. I mean, like I've got that going in as like, I mean, I can't even. I mean, you can tell it's not even like in all the way. Like the disc isn't even, it's not even clicked in all the way. But I'm like pushing it as hard as I can into there, and that's it. But you can't even hear like the click like you're supposed to. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of these cases because you saw the disc literally just fell right out. But yeah, I mean, still got the 4K scan. I watched it today. I thought it was good, but I mean, like I said, I think if you have the Blu-ray, you're probably fine. However, if you only have the MGM release, the non-Scream Factory release, I would definitely upgrade to either the Scream Factory Blu-ray or the 4K. Probably the 4K because it's probably cheaper to get anyway. Because of the soundtrack. The MGM, back when they were doing the Blu-ray and the DVD and all that for this, they were not able, they didn't want to pay the money to reacquire the licensing rights to all the music that's in the film. So if you're watching the old MGM release, a lot of the music is gone or trimmed down. So you really want the Scream Factory release because most of the music was put back into it, all except for like one song got put back into it. So I would definitely highly recommend getting the Scream Factory release just for that alone, honestly. And it comes with a shitload of special features. Like I said, there's no new special features, but if you don't already have the Scream Factory Blu-ray, then just get the 4K and you'll get all these awesome special features. I mean, it's loaded with special features. I mean, look at this fucking thing. Go ahead and just pause and take a look, but it is loaded. Loaded. So, yeah, it's worth it for that alone. Next up, Disturbing Behavior, MVD. I love Disturbing Behavior. I just watched this movie a couple days ago. Not for the first time. I've seen it before, but it's been a while. Look at that. Disturbing Behavior. Reversible cover art on that. Thank you, MVD. MVD can give us reversible cover art. Come on, Scream Factory. Come on. This was only $20. There you go. Yeah, this is just such a fun movie. I love Disturbing Behavior. I guess there is actually a cut of this film, a director's cut, that is like 105 minutes long or something like that, somewhere around there. The theatrical edition is only 88 minutes. So there was a substantial amount of scenes cut from this movie that I guess the studio just, made David Nutter, I believe is the director's name. They made him cut out just to make it, I guess, what they thought it would flow better if they cut those scenes out. Yeah, directed by David Nutter. But I would love to see that director's cut someday. I really would. I'd like to see the movie. I guess there is a version, like a DVD version or some version that people like put the scenes back in. It's still not the full restored version, but there is something out there from what I've read online. But I'd like to see an upgraded Blu-ray. I want it done well, you know what I mean? not just some fan cut or whatever. Um, but as is, I think the movie's great. And sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes directors do need to be railed back in, guys. They really do. Sometimes directors go a little overboard with their movie. I mean, if you can give me both cuts, I'll take both cuts. But I understand sometimes when a studio does interfere, because these directors, sometimes their vision gets in the way. And the movies, because pacing is a big thing with film, you know what I mean? So like, if your vision is fucking up the pacing or whatever of the movie, and it's just not a fun watch anymore, like you go to the movie theater and you're sitting there and you're kind of looking at your watch because the pacing's off, that's a problem. So sometimes I get it, but I would love to see the director's cut of this someday, because I have no idea. I wouldn't know unless I saw it. So yeah, please go get this release. Like I said, it's only $20. Nice. It's really good. MVD Rewind Collection. Alright, what else we got? Oh, I watched this recently as well. Watcher. Not The Watcher. There's a shitload of Watcher movies out there. The Watcher has Keanu Reeves playing a serial killer, which is pretty badass. And David Spader also is in that as I believe he's like a detective or something, but definitely check that out. This is Watcher. With Micah Monroe, who you guys might know as the chick from It Follows, Tao, The Guest. She's been in a ton of horror movies. She's great. She's great. And she's beautiful. I mean, she's just a gorgeous woman. I love those big eyes that she's got. Watcher. This is a very slow burn movie. I'm gonna let you guys know right now. This is about as slow burn as you get. This is very slow, but it's good. I mean, it's directed very well. It's got an okay score, very subtle, but it's good. There is this I'll tell you about the movie is basically her and her I believe is it her boyfriend or is it her husband? It's her boyfriend. Okay, I had to remind myself because it was like a week ago, but I've only seen it the one time. It was her boyfriend, and they moved to Romania because he has a job out in Romania, obviously, and his work is out there. So they move there. She moves out there with him, and I guess she used to be like an actress, and she decided to like uproot herself and just go with her boyfriend, because it's his work and whatever. She uprooted her life and went out there with him. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And she's like slowly learning the language out there, and he's fluent in it. And it's just kind of her, they get a brand new apartment. It's got this giant window, and she starts to notice at night that there's someone, looking over, watching her, or appears to be watching her anyway. And it starts to freak her out. And he seems to just always be up in his room watching her from like across the way, like across the street in like these other apartments. It's just very creepy, very like, kind of, atmospheric. And like I said, it's slow, but it's good. Like I said, the score is very subtle, but I like it. There is a really good song that I like though, when she goes into this like nightclub and there's a song playing when she's going in there, and I really like that. I dug that. It added to the mood. But the Micah Monroe is great. Carl Glossman is her. That's her boyfriend, I believe, and then Bern Gorman, I believe, is the Watcher. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought I can't really go into it's hard to go into it without spoiling it, so I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but like I said, she just is kind of like, you don't know if she's paranoid that someone's watching her, like she's being paranoid because her boyfriend kind of starts to think she's a little paranoid, like maybe she's not really being watched. Um, and you know, you're starting to wonder yourself, like, God, is she just being paranoid? Is this all in her head? Like, what's going on? And then the third act comes and you find out. And I thought it was good, but it was a bit unrealistic. I won't spoil the ending or anything, but I do think it's pretty unrealistic, like what happens at the very end of the movie, you know. But it's still good. It's still worth the watch. This was only $14.99, so you know. I thought it was pretty good, pretty well done. Like I said, well shot, well directed. You know, it just it needed a little something else. There's like just a little something missing, but still a good watch, solid watch. Like I said, I think it's only like an hour and a half to have. I don't even think it's that long. Yeah, it's 96 minutes. Yeah, so not too bad. All right. Next up, we have Vicious Fun. I watched this recently as well. This actually is cool because it also has reversible cover art. Much like the Disturbing Behavior did. Nice reversible artwork, and then on the other side, it's this artwork. But I think that looks badass. Kind of like a graffiti look to it. This is a pretty fun horror movie. This is like a comedy horror. Who do we got? I don't really know these actors too well. There were a couple people that I knew. Evan Marsh, Amber Goldfarb, Ari Millen, Julianne Richings, Robert Millay, Sean Bake, and David Koshner. You'll recognize some of the faces in there. I know the one guy that's in there plays Death in Supernatural. I recognize him. I mean, he's been in a million things. And then there's the guy from what is it? The Ron Burgundy. He's like the champ kind from the whatever that movie's called, The Anchorman with Ron Burgundy. But the guy that's his friend in that with the fucking cowboy hat, his name's Champ or whatever. He's in this as well. He was also the pilot in Snakes on a Plane. He's that guy. There's a lot of those actors, you know what I mean? Like those kind of side supporting actors. But this was fun. It's pretty simple. Basically, the lead kid, here I'll use this kid right here, ends up going to this bar. He gets drunk. He passes out in like a storage room. He wakes up and he finds that there's like a few guys and this one chick here. And they're all at like this group therapy session. And it's for serial killers. It's a group therapy session for serial killers. So they're all talking about people that they've killed and murdered. And he's just trying to fit in because he's scared to death. And this chick right here, and this isn't spoilers, they give this away like in the opening of the movie, but this chick right here is, well, I guess I won't say anything. But basically, it's a group of serial killers, and this guy right here has to try to figure out how to get away from them. There's a lot of comedy in this. It's almost too comedic. I would say this is more comedy than horror, but it does have a lot of horror. It's a horror comedy, but it leans more into the comedy, which sometimes takes you out of it. There's not like a ton of suspense because the comedy is, just so in your face all the time. But I had fun with it. I thought it was a fun watch. And this guy right here who plays like the lead serial killer, really fucking good. I thought he was great. Kind of plays like an American Psycho type killer. So I thought he was excellent. So I recommend Vicious Fun. I think it was only like $15 for the Blu-ray. So it's like, why not? Give it a try. I liked it. I would recommend it. All right, and then we got The Ring. Yes, The Ring, definitely one of my favorite horror movies. I mean, I really like this movie a lot. Naomi Watts. This is just a And you know what's funny? I didn't notice this. I heard somebody was talking about this, but apparently, I guess I just realized it. But this is actually just like a paper, like a regular slipcover, like a paper, like cardboard type slipcover. You know how like the Lionsgates are the nice plastic ones. This one's just like made out of paper, and I didn't even think about that. I heard it on somebody else's stream, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it is fucking made out of paper." I was like, I didn't even realize that at first. But it's a really nice steel book. So here's the slipcover for it. And here's the steel book. Love that image. Love this movie. This also has Brian Cox in it. You know, and you just can't ever go wrong with Brian Cox. But Naomi Watts carries this film. Seven Days. Just such a, talk about an atmospheric movie. This is like a very atmospheric horror movie. This has like the same feels kind of like that I get when I'm watching Seven, because it's very dreary. There's like a lot of like blues in the movie, a lot of blues and greens and just grainy looking dark colors. It's always raining. It reminds me a lot of Seven in that way, just in terms of like the atmosphere and how it feels. And it's always raining, and the film is very blue, kind of like the color of the steelbook, which is another reason why I love it. You know, like the filter that they use is like blue, you know. And it's just, it's so creepy. I love the beginning of this movie too, where the two girls are just sitting on the bed and they're talking about like the tape, and you know, if you watch it, it kills you in 7 days. And the girl's like, this is, you know, this is day number 7 for me. You find out that she watched it. It's so creepy. It's so well done. I might watch this tonight, actually. And you know, Naomi Watts, like I said, she carries the movie. It's just her and her son, and then she's got a boyfriend who's in a couple scenes, and Brian Cox is in a few scenes, but it's pretty much just on her shoulders, and I think it's just excellent. And I love it from start to finish. I think it's got a great ending. I think this chick right here is super fucking creepy. You know, just I love the idea of like a tape, like this mysterious VHS tape that goes around, and oh, Samara, that's her name. I just thought of her name, Samara. But this VHS tape that goes around, and you watch it, and it shows you all this creepy imagery, like, and then you know, you get a phone call and it says 7 days. You know, like you're gonna die in 7 days. Like that's such a cool idea. I love that, you know, and I know it's based off of, is it a Japanese? I think it's a Japanese or a Korean, horror movie, Ringu, which I haven't seen, but I should watch it, because I'll tell you, if the remake's this good, then the original's got to just be out of this world. So I really do need to watch the original. But yeah, I love this movie. I do. I think it's excellent. And it's such a great steelbook, too. You know, it's still just a Blu-ray. Oh, did I show the inside of this? I don't think I showed the inside of it. It's still just a Blu-ray. There's Tamara just chilling. It's just standard Blu-ray. Basic bitch Blu-ray, but you know how it goes. We'll probably get a 4K announced or whatever in like a few months, depending on how sales go with this thing. I'd love a 4K of it. I'll probably stick with the Blu-ray. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of extra, if they throw in some extra special features, and you know, what kind of stuff they do, if they ever do a 4K of it. We'll see. I hate constantly having to double dip and triple dip and all that shit. I try my hardest to avoid that, but what are you gonna do? All right, Punisher Warzone. I've never seen this movie, so I can't comment on it. I might do a review on it depending on how much I like it, but I love the steelbook. The Punisher's awesome. I love the what is it, 2004 Punisher, I think it is, with Thomas Jane. I love that one. That's my favorite version, iteration of the Punisher. But this guy looks badass. I mean, this is a great steelbook. I hear really good things about it, and it looks very comic booky. You know, I've seen images and stuff for it. And the steelbook was only $22, so it's like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just gotta take a chance. And I heard it's pretty good. I heard it's a pretty gory, bloody good time. Yeah. Badass. Badass. Can't wait to check it out. I'll have to report back. But I look forward to watching it. My mom's a huge Punisher fan too, so I'll probably end up watching it with her. But yeah, Thomas Jane. I love Thomas Jane as the Punisher. Another great Lionsgate steelbook, but he's my Punisher. And even I like John Bernthal as the Punisher as well, the TV show and everything. But Thomas Jane, he brought the badassery, but he also brought like the intelligence too. You know, that's what I loved about Thomas Jane's character. He used his wit and his intelligence and his intellect to defeat Victor Saint in that Punisher movie as well, just as much as he used like brute force. But man, I love that he uses like every different weapon too. He uses compound bow, he uses guns, he uses knives, he fucking throws hot water on the one guy's face. I mean, I just love how he uses such a variety of weapons, such a badass. Love that Punisher movie. All right, next up, Fright Night. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare. I don't know why I thought of that. I don't know, I'm thinking of Goosebumps, but it just kind of reminds me of that. Beautiful steelbook. This has a really nice shine to it too. It's very subtle, but it's like a nice, see that? Nice shine. And you got some cool disc art and all that stuff. There's that and that. Beautiful steelbook. Cool 4K. I haven't watched this yet. I haven't seen the 4K of this, so I can't really comment on the transfer or anything. But I can't wait to watch it, and I might do a video on this one as well and report back. But it's been a while. It's been a long time since we've had a good vampire movie. This is hard to do. I think the last really solid vampire movie may have been 30 Days of Night, honestly. But I don't know. And then we got Scream 2 steelbook. Love that steelbook. Look at them all sitting out in the audience at the movie theater. Love that with all the ghost face masks on. Then you got Hello Sydney, Remember Me with the knife. And it's got like some nice like spot gloss on there. Nice little shine. Very cool. And no disc art, but it's got that. I love Scream 2. I love the entire Scream franchise, really. I wasn't a big fan of the 5th movie. I thought it was good, but the more it sits with me, the more it kind of annoys me, to be honest with you. I just wasn't a big fan of, I don't know, it felt like a little bit too much drama. Like, the thing with Wes Craven is he always did such a good, Wes Craven and just the thing with his first 4 films is that they do such a good job of blending the comedy with the drama, with like the horror and all that stuff. Like, it's like this like perfect mix, and Kevin Williamson and Wes as a team were just so good. And now you don't have Wes anymore. You have Kevin Williamson, who I heard like helped, on set, here and there. But I don't know. Spoiler alert for Scream 5 for a second. I don't like that they killed off Dewey. I think that's a bad move. I think that's kind of a cheap gimmick, I'll be honest. I think the directors felt like they needed to kill off a main character to be a little bit more bold, but in my opinion, it's not bold to kill off a main character. It's kind of just felt more like I said, like a stunt. Like, yeah, let's show him, we'll kill off Dewey, you know, but it didn't have any weight behind it, in my opinion. I didn't like the way it was executed, and I'll be honest, I don't think Wes would have ever killed off Dewey, because if Wes and Kevin Williamson didn't kill off Dewey in the first 4 films, I don't think they were ever planning on killing off Dewey. And it certainly would have had a lot more weight to it if they had decided to do that. And I know Dewey originally wasn't supposed to live past the first movie, but then test screenings, showed that like people really loved him, so they decided to put him back in. But after that, they had so many opportunities to kill him off, and they just chose not to. And I think it's because David Arquette really brings the heart to the franchise, and to kill him off the way they did, I just don't like it. The more it sits with me, the more I just don't like it. So it is what it is, but I love Scream 2. It's a great entry into the franchise. It's my second favorite, next to the first one. Because I feel like everybody's just at the top of their game in Scream 2. I feel like Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, they're all just, Jamie Kennedy, they all just do such an excellent job. And the fact that this movie was written they had to write it for the next year. Scream came out in 96, Scream 2 came out in 97, so they had to rush it out. I mean, it's just amazing how well this came out. I guess spoilers for Scream 2. I like Mickey and I like Debbie Salt as the killers. I know that when they were writing this originally, it was supposed to be it was going to be Sydney's boyfriend and her best friend in the movie. Her chick, I forgot her name. Is her best friend, in the film. They were originally supposed to be like the killers, but I'm glad that they went with Mickey and Debbie Salt. I thought that was a better combination. I just wish that Mickey had a few more scenes in the film. I feel like we just didn't get enough of Mickey. I wanted him because he kind of just disappears. There's like a hospital scene where Mickey's talking to Sydney, and then he just disappears basically for the entire rest of the movie. You get him in the first act, and then you get him in the third act, but there's this whole middle chunk where he just disappears, and I just wish we had more of him, because I thought his character was excellent. I just wanted more. That's kind of my only real gripe with the movie, but he plays the psycho very well. And Debbie Salt, excellent villain. I mean, it makes sense. She's mad that they killed her son. I mean, it doesn't get, if you're a parent or whatever, I mean, yeah, that will turn anyone into a psycho. I mean, she was probably already unhinged to begin with, but Laurie Metcalf. Yeah, that's the actress's name. Or Laura Metcalf. I always forget if it's Laurie Metcalf, but she from Roseanne, she plays Roseanne's sister. She plays an excellent psycho. And Timothy Olyphant as Mickey is same thing. Very good at playing unhinged. Reminds me a bit of Stu, but that's why I wish we had more of him. So that was that for those, and then I got some box sets. I got the Paranormal Activity box set. Beautiful looking box set. I got to go back and watch these movies. I've watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got to watch the other ones, and then maybe I'll do a full-on breakdown or review of this. But I like the Paranormal Activity movies. They're fun, found footage movies. They're just a good time, and they're really creepy. You got to watch these with all the lights off. They're nice, quick hour-and-a-half watches too. One thing I do want to let people know with these, though, is that they actually do come with reversible cover art. I like these clear cases, by the way, too, that they put them in. But these actually do come with reversible cover art. I don't think people know that. I'll show you an example. So here's Next of Kin. It's not like in your face like the reversible cover art. It's very subtle. But notice how the the bar up here is blank, or the border or whatever you want to call this up here is blank, right? So when you reverse it, you get like a nice little quote up here now where the border is, or the bar. You get like a quote. And this one says, "For the first time you will see the activity." And this one actually, I don't think it's a quote. I think it's just full artwork. There's a couple of them that are just like, instead of quotes, they just give you like see how you have like the bar there and the bar there, and then the reversible cover art. See, it's just like the full image. See what I mean? So that's pretty cool. So they give you the full image there. And then, like I said, see, there's the quote at the top. And then when you reverse it, so you can see up there, it's just blank, just a blank border up top. See, in there you get the quote. And they all have that. So it's the same thing throughout all of them. See, I reversed this one as well. You're one of us now. See, that's a quote up there. All the activity has led to this. It's up there. So yeah, so they do have a reversible cover art, just so you know. So if you feel like flipping those around, I think that's pretty cool. So that's that box set. Let's see. We got the Amityville Horror Collection. This is an old DVD set, but I really dig it. I just think this box set looks so cool, and I got this off Amazon used for only $10, so it's just like, what a steal, And another cool reason to get this set is the Amityville Confidential Classified. So you only get these documentaries. There's a couple documentaries in here that you can only get on this DVD set here. Scream Factory, from what I've read, Scream Factory, they did this set, on Blu-ray and everything, and then I believe Vinegar Syndrome did this set as well on Blu-ray, but as far as I know, none of them have these documentaries that are in this classified set. They weren't able to port those over for whatever reason, and so it's a good reason to get the DVDs. Like I said, it was only $10 for this whole box set. So I just thought that was cool. And then you get Amityville 3D. You get Amityville 2: The Possession. And you get the Amityville Horror, the classic. Yeah. All MGM releases. But I just thought that was cool. Just for, even just for these like documentaries alone. I figure why not. Yeah, so you can find that cheap on Amazon. Good deal. Really nice looking box set. Love the way that looks. I love the Amityville Horror too. It's excellent movie if you haven't seen it. It's weird. People say, like, I've heard people say, like, oh, it's slow, it's kind of boring, the characters aren't that great. I'm like, really? I'm like, man, I love it. I think the Amityville Horror is excellent. I really do. I mean, I love it. It is a slow burn, but I love the buildup of it. I don't know. I think it's really well done. And you get Margot Kidder in the first film, and she's just so fucking hot, man. Oh my god. Margot Kidder from Superman, she's Lois Lane. She's also in Black Christmas. I mean, she's just such a fucking smoke show. She's beautiful. And we got the Resident Evil box set. This went down to like $42 on Amazon during their like Prime Day member sale for like that 2 days. What a great deal. That's the lowest I've ever seen this set. Yeah, it opens up. I love how it opens up. Just take them out like this. And then you get this thing. It's like a little tiny booklet. And then you get Resident Evil. Resident Evil Apocalypse. Resident Evil Extinction. Resident Evil Afterlife. And yes, they could have gotten a little creative, a little bit more creative with these covers, but it is what it is. I don't think they're terrible or anything. Resident Evil Retribution. Resident Evil The Final Chapter. And I haven't seen this one. This is the last one. I actually haven't seen this one. I've seen the other 5. And I recently watched the first one on 4K. That looked really good. But I haven't seen this final chapter, so I'm really curious. I'm excited to watch that. I'm gonna go through all of them. I've watched the first one so far. I mean, I've seen, like I said, I've already seen the first 5, but I want to rewatch them and kind of build up to this last one. As far as I remember, though, I love the first 4 of these. I think the first one's great, really claustrophobic setting. They're, trapped in that, like it's like a mansion, but then like the underground is this giant lab, filled with experiments and all this, and it's got a bunch of zombies, and the dogs are down there, and you got all that crazy shit. So that one's fun, nice, like I said, nice claustrophobic feel. They got to try to get out of there, and they got all these badass military guys in there trying to help them get out, and they're getting all getting picked off one by one. And Mila Jovovich is great. She's great as Alice. Love her. And then we got, let's see. So yeah, you got the first one, then you got Apocalypse, which is great. That's where they go into like the city, and what is it, Nemesis? I think that's the name of it. The creature that's following him with like the guns for hands and all that shit, and then like that thing's like hunting him down in the city. I thought that was great, really fun. And then Extinction, that's the one where they're like in the desert and they're traveling around, and Omar Epps is in it. He's really funny. And you got the guy from The Mummy in there as well. It's like I said, it's in the desert, and then they end up going to like Vegas at the end, and they have this really cool like action sequence there, and you get to see what like Vegas looks like after the apocalypse and all that. It just looks cool. I like the look of that one. Really fun. Then Resident Evil Afterlife, that's the one where they're in the prison. They're stuck in the prison, and I thought that was a fun setting for a movie too. And then you got that giant creature with the axe that it like drags behind it. That was dope. And then Retribution, I don't remember that one being as good. I think they play a lot with isn't there like some like virtual reality stuff going on, or like virtual world? Like there's like I don't know, there's some weird stuff in that one where it's like I'm trying to think of what it is. It's like almost like holograms type of thing, like a virtual kind of setting where they're, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't remember it well enough. I'm trying to think, but I feel like it kind of plays around with that technology a bit or whatever, where it's like, aren't they in like Russia, and then it like switches over again, and then they're like, it makes them think that they're in like a whole nother place. It's like, it's weird. I don't know. There's like some weird stuff going on with that movie, but I'm sure it was fun. I don't. That's the one I remember the least, but I don't know. I look forward to rewatching it, like I said. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys all watching and sticking through it with me. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the video around, let people know. If you enjoy the content and everything, and comment down below. Let me know what recent purchases you guys have gotten. If there's anything in the collection here that you're looking forward to picking up. Any movie recommendations that you like that I mentioned, like Vicious Fun or anything like that. Let me know. But this is Anthony's Horror and More, and I appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.